Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've heard quite a number of people comment on the idea that we don't need this because our schools are doing such an effective job, that the superintendents are not asking for it, and so on. And so I wanted to circle back to why we are doing this bill. We have to go back a few years because the whole national attention to start paying attention to the pervasive problem of bullying in schools began with the school shootings. And you may not know this, but actually our first school shooting in Minnesota was quite some time ago. It was 1966 in Grand Rapids. When we say that a district doesn't want to do it, doesn't think they need to do it, doesn't see any reason to do it, that doesn't actually prove whether or not there's an issue in that district. Because we have heard from the students, from the alumni, from the parents, that there is a problem, that they do want to see a solution, that they do want this to be taken care of. In 2013, we had a survey of students, and students reported that in the last 30 days, for special ed students, 1 in 5 had been bullied. This is why we see organizations such as ARC of Greater Twin Cities, ARC of Minnesota, the Autism Society of Minnesota, Children's Hospitals and Clinics, Consortium for Citizens with Disability, the Courage Center, the Minnesota Association of Academy of Pediatrics, Minnesota Association for Children's Mental Health, the Minnesota State Council on Disabilities, NAMI, PACER, and Suicide Awareness Voices of Education among the groups that were in the consortium to come together and get the language for this bill originally. Among our Somali students, 1 in 3 report having been bullied in the last 30 days over their religion. And so one of the organizations on the list of the consortium is the Confederation of the Somali Community. There are also a number of religious organizations on the list. And among our LGBT students, 3 in 5 report having been bullied in the last 30 days. So yes, Outfront Minnesota is a big sponsor of this bill, as are a number of LGBT organizations, because they care about those kids. I care about the kids with disabilities. I care about the kids that are bullied because of their race. I care about the LGBT kids that are bullied. I care about all the kids. Some kids are bullied just for some random reason because somebody decided they look like a kid that they could do it to. 13% of the students report having been cyberbullied in the last 30 days. So why do we care? Well, I mentioned the school shootings. That's, of course, the most outrageous, horrible, tragic consequence. We have students who attempt or commit suicide. A student who has been bullied is twice as likely to commit or attempt suicide as a student who is not. Students drop out of school. Students avoid school. They suffer from depression and anxiety and a whole host of medical conditions that can go with that, or it would exacerbate any underlying condition. We've had a lot of arguments that really upset me because they trivialize this. Oh, everybody gets bullied. Well, everybody doesn't get bullied to the same extent. And for some people, it's much more devastating than others. And for some people, the solution is not to go and sock the guy in the nose. This absolutely is not for the benefit of any superintendent. It is not for the benefit of any superintendent. Not very much of our education policy law is. It's for the benefit of the students, and it's for the benefit of every single one of the students in the state. And many of them came and testified. We heard some gut-wrenching testimony from some of these guys. And so this is why we do need this. If it were effective, we wouldn't have these statistics. I urge you to vote yes.